Not drug, yeah, about drugs. What would you know about drugs?
So it harms the physical, mental, and social well-being of a person.
So that's the main definition of itself. Trying to talk about health. Health, when you would have to define health, it's a state like when which physically, mentally, you're all like it's a well-being of that, right? So not only physical, mental health is also very important. So that's what mental health is a lesson itself in EPH. Even if it is not in grade 8, it is in grade 9 or 10. Okay, because I already sometimes I forget where the content has been kept already. Like in social also, it goes up and down. Sometimes in 8, sometimes 7. Okay, so here others, what more interesting news or interesting facts that you know about drugs based on like what ma'am also taught you. Okay, Subi, what did you find most interesting when ma'am taught you about this thing that you feel it was new learning than what you already knew? Because we want learning to continue, right? So, trying our best to make sure that we're learning something new every day than repeating the same thing. What do you think? What was the most interesting thing that you came to know? Kusang, about drugs. Okay, so let's continue here with this itself. So you can see people get addicted to it because they feel it gives pleasure to their body. So that's what they think and they start taking it. And of course, I think it gives them also because everyone has their own definition of getting whatever is the pleasure for them. Okay, whatever gives them. Okay, so I don't want to say it really gives pleasure or whatever it is because I have not also experimented, but we know what does that mean to them. But due to that, they get addicted, and then slowly, if even if that pleasure is not going to help them, that pleasure is going to affect the body. Totally, the body will be affected, and it affects the mind. So that is a the disadvantage of drugs in the long term. That is going to affect the body. So it's a serious social problem, and that using this is illegal. Like drugs can be in the form of gaza, bhang, heroin, smack, cocaine, etc. OPM to anything like in case of Afghanistan, in the name of OPM, what US had also done in the past, right? Because sometimes they don't know how they entered the country. We don't know what is their exact mission. Is it social service or is it personal interest? Okay, so just trying to think from the both sides. We cannot exactly think they have done very good. Also, we cannot exactly think. So, like in case of Afghanistan, OPM, that's also one of the drugs. Okay, so just based on that, I just wanted to recall and just let you know what the things are going on about the current affairs to some extent. So it has been like those drugs are very difficult, and you can see from the news itself that they are trying to stop this worldwide itself. Drug abuse, totally trying to. It's told to be illegal, not just for Nepal. And sometimes you can see people are being used for drugs smuggling, drug trafficking often like let's say from sometimes you can hear from news some Nepalis itself been caught because they are given that to smuggle all the way from certain countries to Pakistan to somewhere, then go, then where they take it. Okay, even at times you can see some Nepali have been caught internationally trying to support trafficking because they are trafficking that just to get money because they get good amount of money by smuggling that or by trafficking that. So it's been very difficult to stop those drug trafficking because they have their own boats, ships, airplanes, and that's how they often use it as well. So that also makes it very difficult to stop this type of drug trafficking. and they have a very good networking checkpoints like transit point. Okay, wherever are the international airport, of course they will be having a very good setting. Okay, like which staff who is going to leak that out or anything. Of course, people are itself like in checkpoints also for money. They can do that, and that is itself also a corruption, misuse of your power. Yes, even though you're staying like a constable that, and then you let it go, that's a misuse of your power. That is itself also a corruption. Okay. uh, so checkpoints in different countries, and that's what we told. They have involved many people in this business, in which people are attracted because to earn money overnight, because they get high amount of payment for taking this risk of trafficking. And that's why also it's very difficult. People keep on going for money, because most of the time people are motivated towards this as well. No, maybe everything is not money for everyone, but at the same time, most of the people's motivation in leadership also might come over here. So if we say leadership, sometimes the motivation might be just because of people might be motivated when the payment is given more. Okay, so people are, but everyone's perspective is not the same way. For everyone, more money might not be everything also. Okay, but we need money because we need to fulfill our basic needs. We need to fulfill additional need, but sometimes some are totally too much for money. Also, it's not good. So tobacco and alcohol are legal, but they are dangerous drugs that damage our body and mind. So tobacco and alcohol is legal, but drugs is totally illegal. And okay, so the layout has been changed a little because of few settings. Okay, what are the effects of drugs? You can see from your book itself, like you studied in health also, like it's once it affects the body means cancer itself. From the book you can see the main picture. Okay, you can see the main picture also. You can visualize that because it will help you to remember through mind mapping. If you do it in terms of that, we are not doing brainstorming for this because it's already there also, and you have already studied in HP. If we do for all subjects, then we'll be very slow in in completing the course as well. So cancer is one of them that is going to affect. That is the physical effect. Brain hemorrhage, damage of the brain, hemorrhage. Because once you're after the sensational things, means like drugs or anything, okay, that's of course going to be affecting the nerves of the brain itself. That's the main control place within the whole body. Alcohol, maybe liver or anything, okay, but ultimately sensational things are going to affect in terms of like itself in the brain. Brain hemorrhage. Another thing is even HIV/AIDS, because when people are using syringes, to some extent, you can see that can transfer blood from one person to another person. That's how you can understand to some extent. If it is mixed with the tablet itself or anything, then directly, of course, it is going to pass there. But if not, also sometimes people are using the same syringe, and then the blood transfusion. Once there is a blood transfusion from one person to another person, then that's when this type of disease is also going to spread by use of drugs, because blood is getting mixed to the other person. So these are the physical damage that's going to cause because of drug abuse. Brain damage, cancer, hepatitis B, HIV, all because of like physical damage because of transmission of either blood can cause hepatitis B, HIV, or even like slowly use of drugs itself from the body can kill the cells in the body. That's going to cause cancer and other things for nervous system, brain damage. So these are the effects of physical effects. Now talking more at a social problem, now that's for individual problem. So that's individual, and for society itself also is going to affect the, is going to, people are going to like, because of the change in pattern of behavior or anything, it's going to cause either conflict or fights or anything, because the way of thinking can change. Even people who like the way it's going to of course change in the pattern of way of thinking. So that's what can cause conflicts. and stress in family, individual, and even society. So these are the effects of drug abuse. So cause. So can you see this 8 causes that's written here? So same thing we have done this in HP. So excessive freedom, when people are given too much freedom and then they don't have ethics, values, or they don't utilize them also, they might start misusing the drugs. Although freedom has to be there, they have to realize, okay, rather than being forced, okay, but at the same time, too much excessive freedom also might be bad. Like too much in control also, if the people are kept too much in control and later on when they give freedom also, they are going to be spoiled. So too much tight also we cannot be doing, but at the same time it has to be monitored. So excessive freedom is also not good. And sometimes people are taking because of the mental disturbance. They think it is going to release some stress, and then they also take this. Okay, either alcohol or anything. It has similar reason. Teenage excitement. Because of this also they take family problem. Because of that causes stress, and then they think this is going to give them relief because it's going to give pleasure, like either alcohol or anything. Okay, that's when they take that. Peer pressure, because of peers pressure itself, when they have the peers who are itself spoiled, or rotten apple spoils the whole like sack, you say, right? A rotten apple, so it's because of peers also, that's when they are going to spoil. So that's why it's not bad. It's not everyone will get spoiled, but most of, maybe everyone might not get, but most of the time because of peers, like because of such circle, they can also get spoiled because they are forced to those type of activities. And high expectation of youth, that might cause depression. Slowly they might think of using that to just thinking that will be the solution to that problem, whereas it's not a solution at all. And similarly advertisements to inspire youth to imitate, because they see in the movie and they think it's good, cool, and then they try to imitate when they see others also. Okay, that's when. And normally in movie also you can see, whether it be drugs or smoking also, they immediately write it's injurious to health. So these are the causes of drug addiction and effects. So remaining will continue tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. So if you have anything, you can ask tomorrow also. For now, we would like to stop it here itself. Okay, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Even if you have, we don't have time. We can we can ask tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you, sir.
much.
Bye, sir.
Bye. And I will keep few questions based on those topics today. Okay, for your revision on.
Bye, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Bye.